Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we today? Oh, let's see. It is Wednesday, May 28th, and it is 9:30 a.m. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Good morning, everyone. Mayor Gomez.
Good morning.
Commissioner Bolton, I see you walking in. Commissioner Wright.
Good morning.
Commissioner Patterson.
Good morning.
Vice Mayor Daniel.
Good morning.
Thank you.
If everyone would please stand. Vice Mayor Dr. Keisha Daniel will lead us in a pledge of allegiance, and then we will have a moment of silence. To just turn off our alarms, our ringers, our phones, whatever we've got that might buzz, that would be great. City Attorney, any report?
No report.
Excellent. Colleagues, if you would, can we go to the well, please? That's okay. Understood. So this first proclamation was requested by myself, and this will be presented to Carolina Montalvo, Division Staff Officer, Flotilla 38 of the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary. Are you here? Oh, there you are. I should know by the uniform. Would you like to join us? Good morning. Wherever you're comfortable. Excellent. Whereas for over 100 million Americans, boating continues to be popular recreational activity. From coast to coast and everywhere in between, people are taking to the water and enjoying time together boating, sailing, paddling, and fishing. During National Safe Boating Week, the U.S. Coast Guard and the National Safe Boating Council, along with federal, state, and local safe boating partners, encourage all boaters to explore and enjoy America's beautiful waters responsibly. Whereas the city boating begins with preparation, the Coast Guard estimates that human error accounts for most boating accidents and that life jackets could prevent nearly 75% of boating fatalities. Through basic boating safety procedures, carrying life-saving emergency distress and communication equipment, wearing life jackets, attending safe boating courses, participating in free boat safety checks, and staying sober when navigating, we can help ensure boaters on America's coastal, inland, and offshore waters stay safe throughout the season. And whereas National Safe Boating Week is observed to bring attention to important life-saving tips for recreational boaters so that they can have a safer, more fun experience out on the water throughout the year, and whereas on average 650 people die each year in boating-related accidents in the U.S., 75% of these fatalities are caused by drowning. And whereas the vast majority of these accidents are caused by human error or poor judgment, not by the boat, equipment, or environmental factors. Whereas a significant number of boaters who lose their lives by drowning each year would be alive today had they worn their life jackets. Now, therefore, I, Michelle J. Gomez, very proud mayor of the city of Tamarac, Broward County, Florida, on behalf of the commission, urge all of those to practice boat safety, or those who boat to practice boat safety habits, and wear life jackets at all times while boating, and do hereby support the goals of Safe Boating Campaign and proclaim May 17 through 24 as National Safe Boating Week. It was in the last week, but since the committee 2025, yes, there's an oops there, so 2025, this will be fixed. Good eyes. And while it was last week, it's for every day you're on the water, especially here in South Florida, where we get the opportunity to enjoy the water all the time. So thank you very much for all that you do. Would you like to say a few words?
Okay.
Yes, please.
Thank you all for having me. I hope you don't mind. I just wrote something real quick. Good morning. My name is Carolina Montalva. I'm the Division Staff Officer for Division 3, South Florida, also for the Flotilla Staff Officer for my Flotilla 38 for both publications and public affairs. On behalf of the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla 38, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the City of Tamarac, Mayor Michelle Gomez, Vice Mayor Daniel, Commissioner Bolton, Commissioner Wright, Commissioner Patterson, and the City of Tamarac officials for the National Boat Safety Week 2025 proclamation. Your recognition affirms the importance of our mission and strengthens our shared commitment to the public safety in the water. As the Mayor mentioned, National Safe Boating Week, it's observed each year in May, and it's a key part of the nationwide effort to promote responsible boating practices. It serves as a reminder that safety starts before you leave the dock. Excuse me. Through proper preparation, life jacket use, situational awareness, and sober operation. Our goal as members of the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary are very simple and yet critical. To save lives, promote boating safety, and support the Coast Guard in protecting our nation's waterways. Through vessel safety checks, public education courses, patrols, and outreach, we work tirelessly to ensure that every boater returns home safely. This proclamation is a promise to our community that safety is a shared responsibility. We take that to our heart. Thank you again, Mayor Gomez, Vice Mayor Daniel, Commissioner Bolton, Commissioner Wright, Commissioner Patterson, City of Tamarac, elected officials for standing with us in this mission. Let us continue working together to make every boating trip a safe one. Thank you all.
And now, Mental Health Awareness Month, requested by myself, and will be presented to Donna Lynn. No. Exactly, because Dr. Judith Miller. NAMI board member. Come on up, ladies. Stand wherever you're comfortable. Whereas, NAMI Broward's mission is to enhance awareness and provide programs in Broward County that support world-class systems for the treatment and recovery of individuals facing mental health challenges. NAMI Broward delivers support, education, and advocacy to nurture better understanding, coping strategies, and positive outcomes for people and their families navigating the complexities of mental health. And whereas mental health conditions are treatable, health concerns that are widespread and manageable. Whereas comprehensive health care encompasses mental health care, which must be accessible to all individuals, irrespective of race, gender, age, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, values, and cultural beliefs. It is vital that these factors are integrated into treatment, allowing the community to become a bastion of support. Whereas the breadth of mental health crisis affecting both children and adults is profound. 1 in 5 adults will encounter a mental health challenge in any given year. Half of all mental health conditions begin by age 14 and 75% by 24 years old. Prompt intervention leads to more favorable outcomes. And whereas half of the children and adults living with mental health challenges never receive transformative treatment due to barriers to care and stigma. The resilience and recovery journey of individuals diagnosed with mental health conditions should be celebrated rather than stigmatized. And whereas the mental health challenges are not criminal issues, nonetheless, individuals with mental health diagnoses are disproportionately represented in jails and prisons, NAMI commends the implementation of the Crisis Intervention Training Law Enforcement Officers Diversion Programs and mobile crisis response teams that effectively reduce involvement in the judicial system and enhance safety. Whereas individuals experiencing mental health challenges are capable of leading meaningful lives and contributing significantly to society, communities that aid those with mental health challenges by ensuring access to quality care and appropriate support. Whereas NAMI Broward designated the month of May as Mental Health Awareness Month to promote mental health awareness, to inspire those living with mental health challenges to seek support, and to be uplifted by NAMI's message, "You are not alone." Now, therefore, I, Michelle J. Gomez, very proud mayor of the city of Tamarac, Florida, on behalf of the commission, do hereby proclaim May 2025 as Mental Health Awareness Month. Thank you for all that you do. Ladies, Dr. would you like to say?
Good morning. Thank you very much, Mayor Gomez and Vice Mayor Daniel and the Commission for helping us increase understanding and awareness about mental health and mental health conditions. I just want to amplify something in the proclamation that's important. Half of all mental health conditions begin by age 14 and 75% by age 24. And treatment works. So the earlier the treatment, the better the outcome. I know we all have family members, we have grandchildren, we have friends that might be experiencing something. NAMI Broward is there to walk this journey with you. We have a number of programs, educational programs, support groups, and we also advocate for people living with mental illness, whether it be the peer that actually is living with it or family members, because mental health conditions do really affect family members. So just thank you very much. Remember, NAMI Broward is there. All of our programs and services are free to participants. There's no charge. We all have probably been touched with mental health conditions or mental health issues in our lives, either by ourselves or others, and we want to give back. We're mostly volunteers. So remember us. You can go to namibroward.org for more information, and thank you so much. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you to the City of Tamarac. Thank you, Mayor Gomez, and thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Photo with us.
Sorry about that. So this proclamation was also requested by myself, and it is for the Fairfield by Marriott in Tamarac, though they say Fort Lauderdale team. Come on up, team. Good morning. Okay. Whereas Fairfield by Marriott Fort Lauderdale Tamarac Hotel first opened its doors in November 2023 under the supervision of General Manager Michelle De Silva. Whereas on April 30, 2025, at the Marriott Select Brands Gala in Nashville, Tennessee, the hotel was recognized by Marriott International for exceptional service and overall property performance in 2024. We can be very happy. Go for it. An incredible achievement for its very first year in full operation. Whereas also at the gala, Michelle De Silva was awarded the Diamond General Manager of the Year Award for 2024, the award being personally presented by Marriott CEO Anthony Cupano, and Chairman of the Board, David Marriott. Whereas this prestigious award is presented annually to only one hand-selected general manager from each Marriott brand in the United States and Canada, for which there are over 1,200 Fairfield hotels. Whereas for Michelle to receive this recognition after only one full year of the hotel's operation, it is a true testament to her leadership and the hard work of the hotel's entire team, especially Director of Sales, Roshane Pearson, Executive Housekeeper, Maria Rodriguez, Front Office Manager, Stacy Caldwell, Chief Engineer, Raymond Caldwell, and all who set incredibly high standards and exceeded expectations from the very start. Whereas the city is pleased that Fairfield by Marriott has selected Tamarac for his business, and we appreciate the wonderful working relationship. Now, therefore, I, Michelle J. Gomez, very proud mayor of the city of Tamarac, Broward County, Florida, on behalf of this commission, we congratulate General Manager Michelle De Silva and the entire team for this well-deserved recognition of their commitment to excellence, and looking forward to Fairfield by Marriott's continued success, and hereby proclaim May 28, 2025 in the city of Tamarac, Fairfield by Marriott Day.
Thank you, Mayor Gomez. Thank you, you all. I'm deeply honored and grateful for this recognition. I couldn't have done it without my exceptional team at the hotel. They had worked genuinely to make this happen, so thank you, guys. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, we're so grateful. When we opened this hotel, I grew up here in Tamarac. I used to run on these golf courses as a kid. Never thought that we would lead an exceptional establishment. So it's rewarding, amazing staff, like Michelle said, and honored to bring the city of Tamarac all over the world. So super excited. Thank you, guys.
This next proclamation was requested by Commissioner Crystal Patterson, who was asked to read this, so if you would, give her your time.
Ms. Julia, please. So Ms. Julia reached out to my office a couple months ago. Her mother was a resident of the city of Tamarac for several years. She recently passed, and I understand her birthday was just last week. She did come and ask to have a memorial bench installed. However, the city doesn't currently have a program for that, and so in lieu of that memorial bench, we're going to honor her through proclamation, if that's okay. Whereas Julia Eva Canner was born on May 22nd, 1926, in Catania, Italy, and lived a remarkable life spanning nearly a century, characterized by resilience, creativity, and a deep commitment to family and community. And whereas as a young woman during World War II, Julia met and married American soldier Albert Canner in Naples, Italy in 1946, eventually immigrating to the United States, where she built a new life as a devoted wife, mother, and professional. And whereas Julia became a respected entrepreneur and fashion expert in New York City, managing Talbot Inc. on Madison Avenue and earning renown as a talent milliner whose work was recognized by the Metropolitan Museum Costume Institute, And whereas throughout her life, Julia remained a creative spirit and a proud Italian American whose warmth, elegance, and perseverance touched all who knew her, and whose stories and legacies are now preserved in Florida Atlantic University's Italian American Memories Documentary Archive. And whereas Julia spent her final years in the city of Tamarac, where she found joy in the sunshine and serenity of her surroundings, and where her legacy continues through the lives she inspired and the memories she leaves behind. And whereas the city of Tamarac is proud to celebrate the life and spirit of Julia Eva Canner and to honor her memory as an immigrant, artist, entrepreneur, and cherished resident of our community. Now, therefore, on behalf of the city of Tamarac, Broward County, Florida, we do hereby recognize and celebrate Julia Eva Canner for her extraordinary life and proclaim May 22nd, 2025 as Julia E. Canner Day.
I want to thank everybody for this honor. My mother would be thrilled, and it's a wonderful way to remember her. Thank you very much.
City Manager, your report.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Let me start by this news. Starting July 1st, 2025, City of Tamarac Water Treatment Plant will stop adding fluoride to the drinking water. This is required by this new state law, Senate Bill 700, which is signed by the governor on May 6th. So hurricane season officially begins on June 1st. We need you to stay informed and prepared for local emergencies by signing for Code Red notifications. please, code red notifications. And we need your cell phone number for this signing, correct, Jim? Cell phone would be a better option. And you can just scan this QR code displayed here to register and receive real-time alerts directly to your phone. In addition to storm alerts, Code Red will also cover boil water notices, forced main water main breaks, missing children, and similarly important notices. And City of Tamarac's Public Information Office just earned a Silver Telly Award for its Tamagram business feature on Savvy Sliders. Yes, congratulations. This is a big deal. This was entered in the food and beverage category of the 46th Annual Telly Awards. The video is the first in a growing series that highlights local businesses and has quickly become a favorite among residents and the business community. They receive a lot of clicks and views for sure. So this national recognition places Tamarac alongside major content creators like Pixar, NASA, and ESPN. So congratulations to Tamarac. And our PIO team for sure. And not to be outdone, our City of Tamarac Building Department is proud to once again receive the Certificate of Accreditation from the International Accreditation Service, IAS, a distinction that makes us the only city in Broward County to hold this honor. So this accreditation affirms that our department meets rigorous national standards and is fully equipped to provide critical public safety services, reflecting our strong commitment to safety, efficiency, and professional excellence. Congratulations to our building department and all the other divisions and departments that assisted in that process. So it's another exciting month. Here's what's coming up in June. We have Fit Zone, get free exercise club open to Tamarac residents of all ages at Caparilla Park. Our quarterly HOA Public Safety Forum will be taking place on Monday, June 9th at 6 p.m. at the Tamarac Community Center. Juneteenth celebration on Saturday, June 14th at Tamarac Sports Complex. And we'll have farm share food distribution on Friday, June 27th at the Caparilla Aquatic Center. And our highly anticipated Yard on the Lawn Music Festival on June 28th. I normally don't read them, but I wanted to read them because these are some major events coming up in June, and so we need you to come up and enjoy and have a wonderful time. And you can visit our website and social media for more details. And as you can see, a lot of wonderful things are happening in the city of Tamarac, so we thank the Commission for their vision and staff for their hard work for making Tamarac a great place. And our next Commission meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, June 11th at 7 p.m. Thank you, Mayor. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. We are now going to public participation, and the rules are going above, but they are standard. Basically, please come to the podium, state your name. If you are comfortable stating your address, please do so. If not, please just put the city and where you live. And then you have 3 minutes. We don't share minutes, so and we like what you're saying. You could do this in the audience, please, or you can do this if you don't care for it, but we don't boo or call out or jeer or cheer. This way we don't make anybody uncomfortable with what they're saying. On that note, I have 2 people at this time that have signed up. I have Elizabeth Griffith. Did you want to speak? Please come to the podium. And then I have, it's written down as Darcy Schiller. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? I've got Patty Lynn. Patty Lynn will be next. Give us 1 second. The microphone.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay, I'm sorry. I've been here before, and I'm sure you don't remember me. My husband was a Tamarac firefighter, and he was disabled on the job. And I am still trying to get something accomplished with the fire department when it comes to my husband's his disability and his benefits. It's been a 6-year thing that's been going on. And I know this is really not the way to approach it, but I've made phone calls and nobody calls me back. So I thought I would attend this morning and see if anyone would be interested in just listening to what I have to say another time.
Understood. Ms. Griffith, I'm just putting this for the record. Elizabeth Griffith and North Lauderdale, because that needed to be put in. We understand, and I do remember you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there are people that you can speak with here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that before you leave here today, somebody will be coming up to you to talk with you.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As Darcy's rolling, Schiller is rolling to the podium, Patty Lynn is next. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? No one else wishing to speak? Public comments will be closed after Patty Lynn.
Darcy Schiller, Kings Point. Couple things. One, NAMI was here to talk about mental health, and there was a tremendous oversight. I would say disregarding our commissioner. Marlon Bolton put together a fit zone, and I think the importance with the fit zone, the most important is that it increases your endorphins, which improves your mood. And somehow or another, NAMI didn't mention that, and our commissioner is supporting that, so I wanted to give a kudos out to that. Again, my opinion is proclamations and years of service would be greatly appreciated if it was put on a different day, completely from the commission meeting, because it always takes anywhere from a half hour to an hour. Okay, let's see. Okay, I don't understand, and help me understand, why our commissioner my commissioner, District 3, was not advised of the attempt at the rezoning of Kings Point, Kings Court property. And the fact that she was not advised until the last minute was not really good. And I'm wondering why, if, from what I understand, the mayor has been involved with this for a few months, that our commissioner has not been involved, especially because the majority of the people do not want it. And I'm going to beg, plead, grovel, and do whatever I have to do to pack this place to get the commission to vote no, because the King's Court is our property. And nobody, including Rich Bobker, has the authority to go ahead and lease it out to a medical company like they are trying to do. That would be like my coming into your house and saying, oh, you don't use your backyard extra spare room. We'll go ahead and take it over and run a medical center out of it. Don't worry, we'll give you a little bit of money. That's absolutely ridiculous. Okay, my last thing is, I know it's on the agenda, so tell me if I need to wait for this, please.
If you know it's on the agenda?
I'm not sure, though, because it's a comment. Maurice and other. The piece with, I will stop.
Okay, it's other, then we don't take public comments. If it's other, then you can speak about it now.
I believe it is. I believe it is. I do not strongly recommend, or let me put it differently, I strongly recommend against going back to the workshop, because my understanding of the workshop was for the general people to know, because you all get it in your notebooks, and if you read it, there's no reason that you need to have a workshop, which would expedite time, and then you can go ahead and discuss it at the commission meeting. My last comment, 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Patty Lynn.
Good morning, Patty Lynn, Mainland's 8 Tamarac. I want to congratulate the city and city staff on the Memorial Day celebration. It was well done, and it was a great day. It was overcast and breezy, so there was no big heat problem. That was really good. The city does a good job for veterans. They do a great job for seniors. They do a great job for youth. They do a great job for businesses. But so much more could be done with better communication and an awareness of the commission that the elected officials should be a team working together. Commissioners sometimes ask questions of staff, and it appears that the goal of the questions is to be, I gotcha, rather than to get information. Or to bring it to the public to say, oh, this staff member didn't do the right thing. It just seems goofy to me. If you know the answer to a question, share that information. Don't try and put one of the staff on the spot. That's goofy. The staff does a wonderful job, and they work hard trying to do what the commission asks them to do. And when the meeting is in session, is it necessary to speak to the city attorney or the city manager privately? Shouldn't anything that you need to ask or say be brought to the public? Again, staff, thank you very much. You do a good job. As a resident of Tamarac, I have interacted with many of you, and it doesn't matter how heated I get and how upset I get about whatever. You're always great, calm, and you do the job and you answer the questions. So thank you very much for your service, all of you. Please work together. It's not a competition, you know. You're supposed to work together to help us. That's the whole idea. Not to bring forward your ambitions for next year or the year after. Work together. Work together. See how great things can be. Thank you.
Thank you. Public comments are now closed, and we will go to commissioner reports. Commissioner Bolton, District 1.
Good morning, Mayor. Firstly, I would like to read an email into the record. I know that Captain Palomero is here, and this is a kudos for one of his staff members. The email says, I wanted to take a moment to commend Deputy Bushong for his exceptional professionalism and compassion during a difficult situation I experienced yesterday following a motor vehicle crash I was involved in. Deputy Bushong not only responded at the scene, but later took the time to come to the hospital to speak with me directly. His primary concern was clearly my well-being, and he ensured I was informed and understood everything that had occurred. He was patient, clear, and kind, qualities that made a stressful situation much easier to handle. This resident is from my district, and so I felt that it was necessary to read this into the record so that Captain Palomara hears this. And Captain, if you would please invite Deputy Bushong to the next meeting, I'd love to, give him a nice gesture. I heard this morning through the time of proclamations that Commissioner Patterson wanted to present or give a sort of a memorial bench or bring forward a memorial bench initiative. I think that's a great idea. So I'm hoping that on the next commission agenda, we would be able to discuss bringing forth this kind of a plan so that in the future we're able to do this. I think this is a great idea to support people in our community. So that is a request for an agenda item. I'd like to ask my colleagues to take a moment of silence for our Jewish brothers and sisters everywhere as it relates to anti-Semitism and all that is happening in our community and our country at this time. So just for 10 seconds. Thank you so much. Fit Zone starts on Tuesday, at 6:30 p.m. at Caprilla Park. I know that the city manager mentioned Fit Zone before, but we have exceeded our expectations with registrations. It goes to show how much our residents are interested in taking care of their well-being. We are over capacity, but we're still promoting because we know that taking care of your wellness and your health is very important. So I invite my colleagues to come out on Tuesday evening at 6:30 at Caprilla Park to experience a wonderful time with Fit Zone. And thanks again, Commissioner Patterson and Commissioner Dr. Daniel for supporting the program. Remember, a program does not exist without funding. Thank you so much.
Commissioner Wright, District 2.
No report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Patterson, District 3.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I am going to just go through a couple things that I have here, and then I do want to also echo Commissioner Bolton in his comment regarding the memorial bench. But before I do that, I want to just welcome everyone that is a Kings Point resident to join me tomorrow, Thursday at 12:30. We're going to be cutting the ribbon on a street renaming right on Northwest 80th and Kings Point, well, the new Kings Point Way. We're going to be honoring, that street renaming is in honor of the Kings Point residents, the lives, the legacies of those that live in that community. And so if you're a Kings Point resident or you have a friend that lives in that community, please invite them to join us tomorrow at 12:30 as we honor them. I want to acknowledge last week's Breaking Barriers in Small Business event. It was our inaugural event. It was a huge success. We hosted it at Colony West. We had a magnificent turnout. I just want to acknowledge the staff and the team, everyone that helped put that together. I've continued to get emails and feedback about just how informative it was. And so, again, if you missed that, once they engaged, because we will be having another series, maybe in another few months, and the segment on that will soon be announced. So also our district town hall meeting last week was another success. We hosted it. Fortunately, we were honored to use some space in Woodmont at the Woodmont Country Club. Thank you again, Vice Mayor Daniel and Woodmont for hosting us. We went on a little field trip. Actually, I told some of my residents we went out on a date. So we explored some of the beautiful facilities in our city. And I think it's really awesome that we're able to kind of patronize different spaces and just take a look at what we have in our city. We have a beautiful city, and I was honored to be able to host our residents there last week. And again, thank you to the staff that made that happen. I want to also recognize Absolute Best Insurance, who cut their ribbon on last Friday in my district. Unfortunately, I had a huge conflict in my schedule. I could not be there, but if you are in need of insurance, please check them out. Absolute Best Insurance, I believe they're located right on Nob Hill Road, so please get in touch with them for any of your insurance needs. And I am going to circle back. Honored to recognize Ms. Canner this morning. I think that, you know, it's a huge honor to be able to, you know, be there for our residents when they are faced with times of need. Manager, I look forward to exploring options. We've had these conversations on ways that our city can, you know, memorialize those who transition. There are other cities that do it, and while we don't have a program currently, I'd love to look at how we can make that an option for our community. And further, Attorney, I'm going to ask that you guys clarify for me, you know, because I'm a rule follower by nature. And so I really, this is the second meeting in a row where there's been some contention around me reading a proclamation. I would really like for someone to clarify for me whether or not there is a policy or a rule that prohibits me from reading the proclamation or that requires me to ask the mayor's permission. Under no circumstance am I looking to be disrespectful to the mayor, but I'm also not going to be bullied or harassed every time it's time for me to read a proclamation. On my way down to the well today, she whispered in my ear that I didn't ask her permission, but she's going to grant it anyways. So I'd like for us to clarify on the record, because to Miss Patty Lynn's point, we need to bring things to the residents. I want to put it on the record and clarify where is the rule and where is the policy, because I want to be in compliance with whatever our rules and our policies are, if there's one.
Well, good morning. Your rules, the Code of Ordinances and your rules do not discuss anything like that. It just states that there will be proclamations or keys to the city. I think that is the mayor doing it has probably been just the policy, kind of, you know, one of those unwritten rules, but it is in no way the law of the city. So I don't think there's an issue with any of you reading the proclamations, but maybe you all should have a bigger discussion about it, since that may be something that's been going on for a very long time.
So I'm going to do a point of clarification since I'm being accused of something. And basically, as discussed in the last meeting, there was a whole meeting before people were here, some people on the dais were, about proclamations, how many to read, and it was a whole workshop on it. And it was said that it was determined that the mayor would read it. Whether it's in minutes or whatever it's been policy. And I didn't say she had to ask permission. I said I understand she wanted to read it, and I believe that's what she was going to ask, and so I said yes, because we had a very short period of time to come down, and I said that's not a problem. I said I would be happy to grant it. That was the whole conversation. I didn't say it the way it was being presented, and if there wants to be a disrespectful negative tone being thrown at me, so be it. But I was offering it, since it wasn't asked prior, that it was an offer, since I knew I was advised she'd ask. That's all. It's not meant to be a big deal. And if we need to have a workshop on it, or if there needs to be a written policy on it, because people feel that they have to read their proclamations, so be it. But there usually is respect given to the person who's been doing it. And it just so happens to be that I'm the mayor. So that deference is usually what's provided to say we'd like to do it. Great. Not a problem. But communication, as I expressed last time, is key. So it's what it is, and if it needs to be discussed.
But I will say that in a lot of communities, the person who is sponsoring the proclamation is the one who usually reads the proclamation.
That was discussed in the past, and it wasn't said for here. Not a problem if we want to do it. Again, communication. I thought we had this resolved at the last meeting. All it needed to be is this: let's communicate, not expect. And that's fine. That's why I was understanding that there was going to be a communication coming to me. So since it was a short period of time, I gave it to her.
Manager, can you clarify who told the mayor that I was going to go and ask her permission? Because I've never discussed an agenda item with anyone on this commission. So I don't know why anyone would have expected for me to discuss a proclamation with her. Ultimately, when I requested this proclamation, especially after the outburst during the last meeting, we had a conversation, and it's my understanding that staff reports to the mayor. And as such, it's staff's responsibility to communicate to her what's happening on her agenda. So if a script was prepared previously that gave an indication that she was reading a proclamation, it's my understanding that the script was altered this time to reflect same. So as we walked down this well, that was not how the communication went. And Commissioner Wright stood there and overheard it. What was said was, Commissioner, I was told you were going to ask me whether or not you could read the proclamation. You didn't ask the question, but I'm going to go ahead and let you read it anyway. I sponsored a resolution in this city that says that this city is an anti-hate and an anti-bully city.
Point of order. Mayor, listen, I think that this is immature, right? It's not a conversation. It should not even be a workshop item, right? I worked at the county. I worked on proclamations. I drafted them. I've requested keys to the county, medals of honor, certificates, and each commissioner request them, they bring them wherever they are going, they read them in meetings, whatever it is, right? I don't think that this is something big.
So make
hold
the
on.
motion.
So I'm just saying that shouldn't be a workshop item. Let us just have consensus right now that each commissioner should be able to request their key, request their medals, request their certificates, request their awards, request ribbons, request proclamations, read them, bring them wherever they want to go. And it is the expectation that when somebody requests something like that, then they're leading that initiative. Simple.
I have no problem with your request for consensus, maybe just minus all the ribbons and other stuff, because I don't think we do all those. But there's no problem with anybody wanting to read their proclamation.
I'm not saying ribbon cutting.
No, I didn't say ribbon cutting.
Okay.
Ribbons. I don't think we give ribbons.
No, but
so just general. If you're going to read,
I'm just thinking from a county perspective what they
right.
give.
But let's go with our rules.
Right.
Let's go with what we do. We do keys to the city, and we do proclamations, and we do certificates. Right? You want to read them? I have no problem with that consensus. So
Yeah.
we'll start down the line with you.
I'd like to add medals as well.
We give medals.
Listen, it is a gesture.
So when we add medals to our repertoire, we'll add that in then.
No. It's fine. It's awards. It's awards of any kind.
Okay, but if you're trying to keep the rules to the procedures and stuff that we do, let's try to keep it to that. To what we do.
Awards of any kind. It is what it is. Awards.
Okay, ridiculous.
Commissioner
at this
Mullen,
point.
I agree. I think
So
it's,
let's just-
I think with all the negativity that people says, well, no one is following the rules. We're just having a conversation. And there is no set rules. I think with all the negativity that people try to bring, and it's only a certain crew, and you know who you are, that highlighting things that are worthy of honor is a good thing. Yeah. Highlighting things that makes our city look beautiful is a good thing. Highlighting events that bring forth unity and people who are supposed to be admired for the good things they do, for the positivity they do, I think all that is good. So I have no problem with awards, medals, ribbons, proclamation, benches. That was so beautiful what the lady did today. There's nothing wrong with honoring people for doing good things, no matter how that honor come across. So let's not get that buried in the mud. We should honor people for doing good and great things.
The point is that whoever is giving the honor will be the one presenting. There's consensus on the dais. I'm trying to get this planted because we're trying to move it along.
Is it consensus or making a motion?
Well, that's what I asked before. I said motion. If you want to have it codified.
No, I'm just asking, Madam Mayor.
If you want to have it codified, I'm asking the city attorney because we're being asked about policy and procedure. Right. We've done consensus before. Do you think this needs to be codified in a motion?
What I think is if you do a consensus, it's informal and it's not going to be a rule.
Okay.
So
I make a motion.
When a commission comes, they're not bound by it.
Got it.
When you have it codified, you know that it's a part of the rules.
I make a motion that awards of any kinds to include but not limited to medals, keys, proclamations, ribbons, benches, awards of any kind, when requested by a commissioner, that commissioner leads the initiative and reads whatever resolution and proclamation and award into the record.
So moved. Second. Well, I did the second. I guess Marlon did the first, but I don't know. Give her a moment to write all your verbiage down.
Okay.
I don't know if there's really a need of discussion on this impromptu item on the dais. Is there anyone who has a need to discuss this further? If not, City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Patterson?
Yes.
Mayor Gomez?
Yes.
Commissioner Bolton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Daniel?
yes.
Commissioner Wright?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. At this time, I believe now we're going to the Vice Mayor, District 4. Dr. Daniel, your report.
All right, thank you. Speaking of honor, on June 9th, I'm going to open an application for students in high school or college that would like to be part of an internship. So please look out for that. If you know anyone in the neighborhood, any residents of Tamarac or not that interested in public service, interested in becoming a politician, or anything in that realm, please let them apply. It's going to be open on June 9th, and I'm so looking forward to working with our young people if they so wish to apply. And there will be a stipend with it, so I think it's a good idea for them to apply because most internship does not have a stipend. Thank you. Also, our Senior Expo has been having such a remarkable amount of feedback. So it's going to be July 12th, so mark your calendar. We even just added, we're giving away free gift cards to local restaurants. There will be, and this was asked of me, I didn't even know there was a need, but there will be a senior single mingle. So if you are single and you're a senior and you want to mingle and meet others, we will have that also. So make sure you come out because apparently there is a great need and we're going to provide for that need. There will be screenings. There will be whatever you need, that need will be met on July 12th. So if you're 50 and older or you're a caregiver of a senior, please come out to our Senior Expo on July 12th. Thank you.
Thank you. Want to also thank our Public Services, Park and Rec, Tamarac Fire Rescue, BSO, and our volunteers for another beautiful Memorial Day celebration. And hearing the major, she was inspirational. Very happy that everyone came out to our district meetings. I hope they enjoyed the learning and talking about things and how the city runs. I had the privilege of speaking at Broadville Elementary to 100 lovely elementary school students from 9 years old to 11, and just hearing their questions, and hopefully there'll be a future mayor or governor or president of the United States in one of those groups. I was at the mayoral roundtable for the Community Foundation, and it was wonderful hearing all of what they do and being able to, there's something coming on the dais later, like to expand on that, and knowing that our city will be participating, hopefully if it's all voted in, will be fantastic. And as far as the benches, I believe that the Public Art Committee had been discussing them, benches, because I know I'd asked for it in the past, and cobblestones, whatever we could do. We were trying to talk about it for around the fire station for that when we was doing a memorial presentation. Whatever we could do, I think it's a great idea. We've got beautiful parks, and there should be beautiful places where trees can be planted in an honorarium or a memorial of some of our family members and people in the city. So whenever that comes forward, I think that'll be a great idea. I had the privilege of going to the mayoral roundtable with the superintendent, Dr. Howard Hepburn, and various other people in the school board, where we were talking about public cooperation and how schools are allowing their facilities to be used with their public partners for aftercare programs and other things, kind of what we were talking about when it deals with some, not going to step on the third rail for this, but just what people know about facilities and use afterwards and community benefit for it. So I thought that was fantastic and look forward to the continued conversation. And there was discussion about having maybe the superintendent and some school board members come to talk to the various areas where school enrollment might be down and what needs to be done to assist our schools, or what may happen to some of those schools. So there shall be some future meetings being planned, I believe. On June 14th from 9 to noon at the Multipurpose Center, I hope you'll join me at, and it is with Braca Strong and Yazin Fitness, and it's Let's Talk and Test Health. HCA will be providing a panel of doctors, and the University of Miami will have their screening it's a change mobile, the Game Changer mobile. It'll be for cervical cancer, colorectal cancer, prostate cancer, hepatitis B and C, and there'll probably be a dermatology thing there as well. We're going to have one blood out there for giving blood, but it's a question and answer situation, so you can come learn about things. And originally wanted to call it Let's Talk Taboo, because people don't want to talk about things, but you got to talk about your body, because when you don't talk about it and you don't get checked, that's when your symptoms have probably gotten so bad it's harder to get help. But if you take care of yourself and you do your wellness and you find those resources that are available for you, and there's a lot of great free, wonderful medical resources out there for people to make sure that we don't get you from a stage 0 to a stage 4, which unfortunately most of the time stage 4, depending on how it's going, we may not be seeing you at the next time and be putting that on the memorial benches. So let's talk about your health. Let's get some questions answered. And then also please attend. It's free and dress comfortably because it's going to end with a half-hour workout, a nice low-impact workout for people who don't want to do high-low, and then some who want to bring it up and be more intense, great. Because yes, that's why I do a Move with the Mayor once a month for the past 4 years. Yes, we should do more because some of us need to work out more than I do, but it is what it is. But working out is good for your health and it is good for your mind, body, and soul. I want to also just congratulate HCA Woodmont for, and unfortunately I'm hitting the wrong button, but it has been announced that the emergency room has been named the #1 emergency department across the entire HCA healthcare enterprise through the prestigious Unit of Distinction Award. This recognition honors exceptional nursing leadership, clinical excellence, and innovation in patient care across more than 2,000 HCA healthcare sites. And we are very fortunate to have HCA Woodmont here in our own city. And so, not that I want you to have to run to to the hospital, but if you do, please know that you are in the #1 site across the country. Thank you very much. Now we will go to our consent agenda. City Manager, are there any additions or deletions?
Yes, Mayor. I'd like to remove item 11B. That's the zip code boundary review. We just discovered recently that there's more to it than just what we have. So we're going to explore the other possibilities and bring it back to you at a later date.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone wishing to remove an item from the agenda? I am looking and I'm not seeing anybody light their light, so therefore I'll ask for a second to the motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by myself, a second by Commissioner Wright. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Daniel?
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wright?
Yes.
Commissioner Bolton?
Yes.
Mayor Gomez?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Now we're going to the regular agenda. 6A, TR 14268. City Attorney, please read the title for the record.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Tamarac, Florida, authorizing the establishment of the City of Tamarac Community Impact Fund at the Community Foundation of Broward, authorizing the appropriate city officials to enter into a fund agreement with the Community Foundation of Broward, attached hereto as Exhibit A, with an initial contribution of $50,000 from the City of Tamarac to be budgeted and paid over a 2-year period, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. I'll take a motion in a second, please.
Move it.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Bolton and I have a second by Commissioner Patterson. Jonathan Allen from the Community Foundation of Broward is going to present to us and will be available for any presentation. No? Yes?
We're here to avail ourselves to any questions if you may have.
All right.
Mayor, members of the commission, thank you. Want to honor all of you. It's a pleasure. I'm here with my counterpart, Ms. Sherry Grosvenor, and we can go as detailed as you want to into the presentation, or since there's a motion on the table, we can avail ourselves to any questions. But on behalf of the Community Foundation, in which I am honored to serve as the vice chair, we look forward to you being a partner with us.
I appreciate. Maybe if you would, can you share with us how the endowment works, just so people are aware of the good work that you do, and that this way, if we are able to get consensus to participate, it's clear on the record.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll go through quickly. So we're the Community Foundation of Broward. We've been in existence for more than 40 years. This is our executive team. Jennifer O'Flannery Anderson, President and CEO, and Sherry Brown Grosvenor is with me. She serves as the Vice President of Community Impact. And just to give you an idea, we are probably about 25 highly skilled professionals. We probably have about $300 million in assets, over $195 million in total grants provided since our founding in 1984. Annually, we grant about $20 more million in grant funding, and we're 83 of 100 community foundations in the actual nation, and we're proud of that. So that gives you a little bit about our rankings: 64 community builders, 550 nonprofits. An endowment gives you an opportunity to have a forever fund. And so your community is contributing. Members of your community, residents or businesses, they will have an opportunity to participate in the community foundation. This talks about how the endowment has been powerful in an initial investment, and over the years, it has granted over $26 million. And I would end on the actual framework of the actual community partnership initiatives, and I think that this is something that you want to do in the future. So I'll end on the mural, which is a future opportunity that we could possibly partner with you, and I think George Gadsden is in communication with Sherry so that we can make that happen to some point in the future.
Excellent. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
At this time, this item is open for public comments. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak on this item? Seeing none, public comments are now closed. Commissioner Patterson?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you guys for coming today. First and foremost, I'm really excited to be able to, bring the item to my colleagues to hear. I've had an opportunity to talk to you guys, taking the love mural, taking the two pieces out of order a little bit. What initially sparked my interest with the organization is the love mural. As I previously mentioned, recently I sponsored legislation resolving our city as an anti-hate, anti-bully city. And I thought that this would be an amazing way to just kind of continue to build that campaign and make that resolution real in our community. And so we've since had an opportunity to identify a location, which I think we were looking at the community center right along the front of on our main thoroughfare on Commercial Boulevard, where we could maybe have that love mural installed, and we continue to build on that anti-hate, anti-bully initiative in our community. So I would love that my colleagues would consider supporting that. And then I guess whatever questions and further explanation you all can give on how that works. And then in addition to that, as we continue to talk, I found myself really intrigued with the endowment. For various reasons, again, hinging back on the conversation with Ms. Canner and the fact that we didn't have a bench memorial, and just exploring ways that our city could grow and ways that we could fund things. Maybe there's someone that doesn't have the means to be able to memorialize someone that's transitioned. Our city would now have an opportunity or the means to be able to make some things happen where we traditionally wouldn't. And so I know we typically do a $3,000 donation annually. The fact that this is an endowment, it grows. Anyone can contribute to it is what I understand. So people that live in our community, maybe they don't have family members or whatever, but they really love our city. They could, donate to this fund. And, it doesn't end with our fiscal year. It doesn't cap at that point. The only question I did have for you, though, Jonathan, is can you clarify the city's access to the dollars? So when we want to fund a project, do we have full access to the monies, or what does that look like?
That was a question that was posed by the city manager. And I mean, every year you get a allocation, and that allocation will be provided to the city for the appropriate deliberation and determination. We provide the money for your top initiatives. And so as you determine the initiatives, as I communicated to the city manager, you can determine if it will go for a special program, if it go for a special project. We'll just be stewards, and we will be partners with you.
So the initial seed is $50,000. Do we have to ever do any other investment into the endowment again, or is it?
No, you will get the regular financial reports in which I communicated to the city manager, and you can determine how you allocate that to the best program based on the consensus of the governing body.
And are we limited to what we can pull annually?
Typically, it has been 5%. and that allows you to preserve the fund forever. And as it continues to grow in good markets and bad markets, you'll get more on good markets and then you'll get less. But traditionally, we've built our models on 5% return.
What's the rate of growth? So, like in terms of the investment, how's the fund growing, or how quickly does it grow?
It's hard to predict the market, and that's why we average, and we're doing the presentations of 5%. So you're talking about, I think the math is if it's $2,500 in that particular range every year, but as it continues to grow, you will get more based on the return. But the average return that we're giving to communities, because I have a fund with the Community Foundation as well, multiple funds, is a 5% return. And that allows us to do philanthropy, scholarships, community impact within our fund as we have as a family.
Let's say maybe a developer wants to put $1 million into our fund. Does that change the rate in which we're able to withdraw dollars?
Yes, because you would get a higher rate of return based on that contribution. We have fund, this will actually be the third community impact fund. The first impact fund was established by the city of Oakland Park, and the developer actually seeded money into their fund.
Okay, and this commission, this body, would be responsible for the creation of programs. We would have to deliberate as a body on anything that is expended from that fund.
Correct.
Right?
That's how it's worked for Oakland Park. That's how it's worked for City of Lauderhill, and I anticipate that's how it would work for your governing body as well.
Is it a big deal that we would be the third city to
I think it's a big deal. It's huge. I mean, we had an event and there were a lot of mayors there. So you beat those mayors in establishing the fund. So I think that can be in the next city manager's report, that you're the third city among all of our cities to establish a fund with the Community Foundation.
Can you speak to how solvent Community Foundation is? We've
been in existence for more than 40 years. I gave you the actual numbers on our endowment. We're at $300 million. We are granting more than $20 million a year, and we're growing. Over the next, I think, 50 years, you're going to have over $50 billion in a distribution of wealth, and we want to be at the center in establishing funds to preserve legacies for future generations. So we'll be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Wright.
Sorry. Thank you for your presentation. Actually saw your presentation at the Northwest Council in Lauderhill a few months ago, and I was truly, truly impressed. 5%, is that 5% return on investment or 5% what we can access on an annual basis?
5% based on the proceeds that you have invested will be returned to you for your programs and initiatives.
So if we have 50,000, 5% is about 2,500.
Yes.
2,500 on an annual basis.
Yes, every year.
Okay, and in terms of marketing, like say for instance, you said you guys do philanthropy. What if someone wants to distribute some money, a la Jeff Bezos' wife, she gives money all over in different places. Would you put us in front of people who want to distribute money to cities? Being that we're like the third city and someone comes to the Community Foundation, a la Jeff Bezos' wife, and she said, well, I want to give $1 million to Broward County, but you decide which cities and places where it goes. Is that something you guys would do as someone who's been around for such a long time and has such a huge endowment? And as this money's been distributed, the Bloomberg philanthropies and all these wealthy people who want to start distributing their money and have their checks bunked at the undertaker, would that be something that you guys bring as well?
I'm going to ask Sherry to come up here and respond to that one. So we've had creative opportunities because Sherry attends a lot of programs and she sees a lot of philanthropy and how they do it differently in different communities. So I can see a individual contributing money to the Community Foundation or contributing money to the city of Tamarac and wanting to earmark it. That will literally go to your fund. And so you can actually go to our site, you can pull up the funds, and if you want to if you have a donor advised fund, and at the end of the year, if you want to contribute $5,000, that $5,000 would go to your fund, and now you won't get 5% of the proceeds of only $50,000, it will be 5% of the proceeds of $55,000, and so it can continue to grow. But if Sherry has some innovative opportunities, I can have her respond to your question as well.
You actually, good morning, and thank you for allowing us the opportunity to be here. But you actually answered the question. If there are opportunities where a major philanthropist is looking to put money here in Broward County, one of the things that we now do is we prioritize those who have funds with the foundation. So as being the third city, you would rise to the top of the list of the cities that we would recommend, because we also have nonprofits that have agency endowed funds, and we now prioritize them as well in terms of being recipients of special grant opportunities through the foundation or from national foundations. So.
Yeah, that was just my curious question, because I see the work that you're doing. I've looked at your website, I've read the documents, I saw the presentation at the Northwest Council, and I know there's a huge push across the country where people are giving money, especially in communities like ours. And at the start, being the third city, was there any marketing advantages that we'll get, participating and be more, like you said, moving to the front of the line as people continue to distribute their wealth? So all the other stuff I'm very much aware of. Appreciate the work that you guys are doing. Continue to do great work. And that was my only question. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not sure which one. I appreciate all my colleagues' questions. As you know, I was one of those mayors at that round table, and I've been very excited because I've been aware of this. And so sometimes it seems that we run on parallel lines, because my ask was for a little bit more than the $50,000 that we are currently talking about right now, but to be discussed at a budget meeting. But since we're here today, I'll just lay it out to the City Commission when we finish our budget discussion. If we want to start with $50,000 for over 2 years, because it would be 25 this year and 25 next year, which means, math man, it's less than $2,500 that we would be receiving, and I don't know if we receive it. How long would it be? When's our first receipt of money?
You received the allocation. I think that we allow the distribution available in the fiscal year December. But you can spend it any particular time. And let me give you this example. If any 1 year you defer, that money goes back into your balance and it accumulates. So it continues to compound.
But we give you $25,000 this year. We're not getting any money this year, right?
Right.
When is the first time we would be able to
when you seed the entire fund at $50,000.
Okay.
And at any particular time beyond seeding it at $50,000, you can make additional contributions to the fund.
Okay, so we can always make money, we can always donate, but our initial seed money, it has to be $50,000 before a year goes up, and when the year is over for that year of the initial $50,000, that's when we can receive a distribution.
Correct.
Okay.
And we don't restrict you from funding it early. It was just an option of a 2-year budget and appropriate.
I think at this rate for our city is probably one of those things, let's just get it done with whatever seed money we're going to do, and then we can probably go back to discussions during budget time for what's intelligent for our city to be able to do if we're going to fund early. And if we want to fund early today, if that's the motion that we'll be doing, then that's the motion we'll be doing to get all 52. But again, we do have to be mindful of budget before I get a bunch of daggers from budget people are scrolling in their seats over there. So let's first get this on. My question is about the love things, because I handed the card over and I wanted it yesterday. And while I believe that there's a presumed place to go, I thought there'd be another place to go that would be just as fantastic than there, but that's for discussion by the city. However, my understanding is for a district, Broward County district. It's going one each Broward County district. Can you please explain how that works?
Yes. Our goal is to have at least one love mural in each of the 9 commission districts. Broward County commission districts. So at this point, we have a love mural. We have some that have been completed, and then some that are in the pipeline. And so what we're saying is the earlier you get your dollars together and placement of the mural, you jump ahead of the others. So we're kind of doing it on the first come, first serve basis to make sure that one is in at least each of the districts.
That was my concern, because we're represented by Commissioner McKenzie and Commissioner Udine. Right. So Commissioner McKenzie has one already.
Yes, yes. And we can always go back to the committee and.
Well, my question is,
adjust.
do we need the commissioner, the district
No,
commissioner's
no,
approval?
no.
Because we're Tamarac and Udine is where we're
Right.
talking about right now. Because Mackenzie's already been selected, or his, so we would be in Udine. Do we have to ask him because he has he has Coral Springs and Parkland? Do we have to ask permission?
Well, let me see if I can take, the decision rests with the city commission. That is just our goal, that we want them geographically located, but the decision rests with you. We don't have to get prior approval from any of the district commissioners.
Just wondering if we needed to send letters over to Commissioner Udine and say, hey, we're first.
No, that's just the internal goal. That
Okay.
we want them strategically located throughout Broward County community and not in one specific area.
Excellent. And yes, estate planning was something that very much people can decide to leave. If we have in there, then anybody wishing to do their estate planning can always have the Community Foundation and list Tamarac as who they want the funds to go to. And I think those are the questions I had for now. Thank you very much.
Excellent, thank you.
Vice Mayor.
Just wanted to say thank you for doing such good work. You know, we talking about honor today, so we honor you for what you do, because I'm sure your skills and talents could make you money somewhere else. So thank you so much for what you do. My thing was, good idea. Thank you, Commissioner Patterson, for bringing this up, and City Manager. Awesome idea, because when times get hard, at least we know this is there where we can get some initiative done, and hopefully our vendors and our partners are hearing this and they will donate to make the pot even bigger. So once again, thank you.
City Manager.
Madam Mayor, before it's too late, I also want to join the commission and thank our old friend, good friend, Jonathan, and you know, he's been more than helpful and made himself available to assist us with this process. So thank you so much, Jonathan. It's wonderful to see you back home again, and so we're always looking forward to seeing you.
Commissioner Bolton.
I'd like to share the sentiments of my colleagues. This is a great initiative, great item. Kudos to Commissioner Patterson for bringing this up. She is just starting on fire, and I appreciate her intelligence and her smarts. And thank you so very much for your contribution today, your presentation. Well presented, information is clear, and I look forward to the program. And wonderful suit, by the way. I'm a suit guy, and this tops it all. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you both. You both look fantastic. And give us a minute as we have finished our questions. Subject to budget, I would like to make a friendly amendment and go straight to the $50,000 versus waiting for 2 years of $25,000. Is that going to be a problem? I guess, City Manager, would you speak with, I guess, finances to that, the finances, or through our Finance Director?
Madam Mayor, if that's the desire of the City Commission, we'll work with the Finance Department.
Well, I would say still subject to. So that's a friendly amendment to Commissioner Bolton and Commissioner Patterson, as the item is directed as going as half and half.
I would just like to hear from the Finance Director, if that is possible, and what her opinion is.
City Manager, so.
Absolutely.
Ms. Hughes.
Good morning, Mayor and City Commission. Christine Kajus, Director of Financial Services. It will be all subject to your approval of the budget as presented to you. We are going through the process now, so it's competing dollars.
It's actually, Christine, in this fiscal year, so.
No, it's actually in 2026. In December, it's 2026.
Oh.
Yeah. This is not, we're talking about fiscal planning for the budget season we're currently in. This, which is 4 months away, theoretically.
I mean, we will be presenting in a workshop to you on June 30th. So we will be presenting all the items. If this should be included in it, we'll be presenting that to you as well.
Okay.
Point of clarification. So if we were to approve the item today, what you're proffering is that we would not start the endowment until October 1st.
Because the date in the item is December, so that is in fiscal year 2026 that starts on October 1st.
What do you mean when you say the date of the item is December 1st?
The item, I believe, calls for a payment in December 2026 and another payment in December 27.
Right, but the allocation would happen, so a payment and an allocation or an appropriation is kind of different.
2025, sorry. Yes, I'm sorry.
You were clarifying something.
Yeah, she was clarifying that it's December 2025, which is fiscal year 2026, and December 2026, which is fiscal year 2027. Because the fiscal year 2026 starts October 1, 2025.
Right, I understand all that. I just wanted to understand why you were saying December 1st. So for clarification, and I just want to make sure I understand. So we would approve the item today. The endowment's first payment is rendered December 2025, and you're proffering that we add this into the 25-26 budget.
Yes, because that's when it will take place. Yes.
Thank you.
So there was a friendly amendment on the table. Commissioner Bolton, you received answers.
Yes, I would like to accept the friendly amendment.
Commissioner Patterson, do you second?
Second.
Thank you. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Wright?
Yes.
Commissioner Bolton?
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson?
Yes.
Mayor Gomez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Daniel?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 5-0 as amended.
Travel safely. We look forward to working with you. Thank you. You too. So we now go to ordinances on second reading. 8A, TO 2591. City Attorney, please read the title for the record.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Tamarac, Florida, adopting the first budget amendment to the City of Tamarac operating budget, revenues and expenditures, the capital budget, and the financial policies for the fiscal year 2025 by increasing the total revenues and expenditures by a total of $2,895,924, as detailed in Attachment A, attached hereto, and summarized in Attachment B, attached hereto, and incorporated herein, providing that the First Amendment is being adopted in the same manner as the original budget and serves as the new adopted budget, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Move it.
Please.
Move it.
I need a second. I have a motion by Commissioner Bolton. I have a second by Vice Mayor Daniel. Christine Kajus, our Financial Services Director, is available for any questions. I will now open this for public comment. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this item? Seeing none, public comments are now closed. I am not seeing the light lit by anybody who wishes to make a comment. I'm going to ask the city manager again. I had asked for it last time. I asked for it the time before. I have not yet received a copy of the proposed budget on Fit Zone on the workout plan. As I have expressed, I don't have a problem with workouts. I just think that we are voting on something without a plan and has not been provided. Do we now have it here?
I'm not sure if I have it, but Ms. Kim, can you start a public records request so that we can provide that information quickly to the mayor? It's available, I believe, in the finance department. And the finance department will just need to put that together and provide that response to the mayor. So consider this my request.
And this should have been done, not just last meeting, but the meeting before then, where when other people have made the requests, it's been granted all the time very quickly. So therefore, I expect this exponentially provided. And since I still don't have the information, I am not comfortable on this one because it is our responsibility to know how things are being spent. I've asked for certain information regarding the salaries and the other detail that was discussed. I had that from a workshop. It was clear where the money was going. It's easier to understand those things and be able to vote competently and confidently on what's being asked. So take it as some people may. This is not a personal thing, but my belief of having to be responsible. I do not understand $30,000 for 5 months of workouts, even if it's twice a week. That's 40 workouts approximately. I don't understand how the money is being distributed. And even if you pay somebody $100, that's $4,000. Advertising, I don't understand it. And since nobody has given me the paperwork, I will continue to not be able to support this.
You will receive the information.
Yes, but it's after the vote.
And you also reminded me about the salary, so I just put it up on the screen. That explains how we get to $170,000.
And that's fine, because that was only asked for this morning, but I have it here. The other stuff I've asked for has been months, a month at least, haven't received.
This was
part of a presentation,
right?
And that's why we have it. That's the point. So again, not a personal item, despite people maybe wanting to take it personally. It's a responsibility item in my belief. So therefore, I've said my piece. Commissioner Bolton.
Thank you, Mayor. This is also a public records request for all funds used by the mayor in connection with all initiatives and purchases for the last 5 years. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Seeing that this is not a personal item, anywho, City Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Bolton?
Yes.
Commissioner Patterson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Daniel?
Yes.
Commissioner Wright?
No.
Mayor Gomez?
No.
Thank you. Motion passes 3-2.
All righty. We're now going to our other section, which is our version of a workshop, as we've called it in the past. 11A, reinstatement of commission workshops. This has been requested by Commissioner Maury, right? Commissioner?
Madam Mayor, I just want to get consensus to see if the Commissioner wants to reinstate the workshop. I think certain items should be still done in the workshop way. I know the complaint was that workshops are long, and obviously with the new staff format, they've shown us that it can be done in an expedited manner. I think adding public comment was a great addition to the workshop. I think certain items, like we had a few weeks ago with the business stuff and the track stuff, that's the perfect format for a workshop. I think we can make some changes from how it was before, but I'm looking to see if the rest of the commission is interested in reinstating it with those changes to kind of expedite the process and just focus on things that requires a little more feedback from us as opposed to like voting items.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
Yes. Initially, I was thinking like let's discuss the items in workshop. But as we progress and we have more meetings with the workshop being agenda review and the public getting the opportunity to speak, I'm really loving the format now. That way no one knows what I am thinking until commission meeting. So no one can sabotage my vote or any type of, because you won't know what I'm voting until the day of the commission meeting. So I actually really appreciate it at this time. So I would like it to remain the same.
So I would be amenable to the modified version, because while it was very nice and quick for a 6-minute workshop for the staff on yesterday, because we had a federal holiday on Monday, so the workshop was moved to Tuesday. So I don't know if people knew about it, because actually the announcement that went out to the public had it on Monday.
Mayor, an updated one was sent a few minutes after that.
Did it? Okay, then I missed that one. That's fine. But even so, people aren't coming to it. And the point being is, commission staff, the staff, you guys go through it and you pull it apart ad nauseum. You have meetings upon meetings upon meetings to narrow down and drill it down before you bring it to the commission. So when you got to that workshop, it's just talking amongst yourselves. We are not allowed, the commission's not allowed to ask you questions. So when we do have big ticket items, we're doing it here. We're brainstorming off the cuff. We're not getting full information all the time because sometimes staff doesn't have it because they don't know what we want to ask, because we don't know what we want to ask, because we haven't had the pill pull. We haven't had the ability to discuss this, because when we finally get the agenda for our week review, it's a week beforehand. We don't have our books when we meet with the city manager. We don't have any idea what's in the backup. So then we're reviewing over the weekend, and then we got to pull from the city manager when we have an opportunity, then ask questions. By that time, it's a little too late sometimes. And so we wind up, Kenneth Lopez gave a really great presentation, but that poor gentleman probably went out of here thinking that we hated whatever he was doing, and it wasn't that. We just have more questions. And instead, we're rushing to make decisions all because we want a quick workshop. That's not our job. We're not here to do quick. Our job is to be informed. Our job is to be educated. Our job is to make the best decision with the information provided, and not just maybe change it after we vote on something, or know that we're going to have a second reading afterwards and we can worry about it then. While the flexibility is nice because you don't have to be there publicly if you don't want to, there are people on the commission who don't come, and that's fine. There's times when you can watch it online, that's fine. But this restriction, if we're going to keep it in the format which it is, I'm not sure that I like the idea that only population, the public, can speak on it, because we're the ones who are going to be asked questions and we're not even allowed to participate. So this particular format, as quick as it is, I don't think it's giving us the information we need. So I would have no objection to a modified workshop. Vice Mayor, did you want to speak again?
Oh, no, I was just saying it's our job to research regardless of the format. It's our job to know what's on the agenda regardless of the format. I have had access to the city manager 24 hours a day, unfortunately for him. So if I have a question, I can call the deputy city manager as well. So I have no problem calling them if I don't understand something or need. I could even call the clerk. So I have no problem doing research because that's just the way of life. Regardless of the format, you have to research. You have to know your job. What I have a problem with is people knowing what I'm thinking before the actual commission meeting. The commission meeting is when we are supposed to make that decision. So I am fine with it the way it is. I think we all know we have to do our job. And one thing I can say about this commission is that we do our job. Everyone here reads. Everyone here research. Everyone here has an opinion. Everyone here is smart and beautiful and kind. So I have no problem staying with that format, because it was good to hear some of the public's opinions so I can marinate that along with what I read, what I research, what I see the community, what I hear from the residents. I think the staff, if I have a question after workshop, guess what I do? Ask staff. Mustafa, I don't know if it's legal or not, but I ask him questions all the time. Christine, I ask her question all the time. She don't like answering me, but I ask her questions all the time. So I have no problem asking questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Patterson.
Thank you, Mayor. I think that, I actually completely echo the Vice Mayor's sentiments 100%. I think that we need to focus on efficiency. One of the biggest issues that I had coming on board here was just, what I believed was a lot of red tape, a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of just politics. Again, we talk about all these informal rules that really don't move our agenda or our city forward. Those workshops were not used the way that the code currently calls for them to be used. The code says that a workshop is to be had from time to time if necessary. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a workshop because it was necessary to discuss the lobbyist agreement. We were having workshops every week before a commission meeting, reviewing every item on the agenda. We were publicly noticing so that we can be okay in good standing with Sunshine, but we are gauging consensus on items, right? Then when we don't feel like we have consensus on items, we'll take things off the agenda. We can't, that's not fair to the public. It's not fair to the commission. It is a legal way to be illegal, okay? That's how that workshop was being used. In this format, We've opened up opportunity for public to speak. We're having workshop right now. An item that needs to be discussed among this commission is being discussed. If there's direction given to the staff will know what to do from here and bring it back later. While the public can't make a comment on workshop item, that's okay because we're not voting. We're just discussing right now. No one comes to the workshops. There was no public comment. There was no opportunity for anyone to be heard other than us, hear ourselves talk over and over. It's useless. It was a waste of time. Any decision that this body is making should be made before the public, period. And there's no reason why staff need to get direction or why this commission needs approval from the commission to get an item for discussion. We are moving the business of the city forward so much quicker in being efficient. If there's concerns about more questions, we can easily add more time to the discussion during the workshop or during the commission meeting. If there's an issue with the internal deadlines, make it 2 weeks before the meeting so that you have time to read your agenda. I personally meet with the staff every week before the meeting. I do my agenda briefings routinely. So I know what's coming, I research, but maybe you don't have the time. So maybe the staff, there's a lot of solutions. Staff can maybe move their internal deadline and make the agenda internally available 2 weeks before the meeting. This way, the commission has an opportunity to read more. Again, we give 5 minutes here to talk. Give it 6 minutes if there's a need for more questions. But there's nothing that precludes us from the ability to have a workshop when necessary. I vehemently will not, I'm completely opposed to having a workshop to review an agenda and be asked, do I have consensus? No, don't ask me my vote. Don't ask me how I feel about an item on the agenda. The only people I take direction from is the people that I serve. So I will not vote yes on another workshop.
Commissioner Bolton.
Thank you, Chair. During the workshops, we ask staff questions. So we can ask staff questions outside of a workshop. When we are in a workshop, we discuss items ad nauseum. Why? I think some people just like to hear themselves speak. I've made sure that I speak less and listen more. Lessons learned, right? And so now we have residents able to come and ask questions ad nauseum. We had Dr. Darcy Searle come to one of our workshops and she asked questions maybe for like 15 minutes. Something that you don't get at a city commission meeting. Something that is unheard of probably in other cities. But we're giving our residents the ability to ask questions and to be informed. Since I've been here, I've probably done an agenda review maybe 5 times. For other reasons, unstated, but with Michael Cernich, allegedly he's whatever they call him in the news. So I never wanted to meet with him. I don't meet with this city manager either. He's a lovely fella, but I don't meet with him. I've probably met with him 2 times to ask him questions on the agenda because I read, I study, and I look out for whatever information the staff gives here. When I was coming to City of Tamarac a long time ago, I was told by a very, 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 very important and educated person who's a former commissioner, a woman, so not Dale Holness. And I was told, Marlon, be careful of what staff packages in this book because it's from staff's perspective. Staff wants to tell you what they want you to hear. You don't have to agree with me, staff. I think they're intelligent and fine people. But staff packages this information from a staff perspective. I look at the information from an objective perspective, from other people's perspective. If I don't understand something from the finance department, I'm going to read what Christine puts here, but I'm going to call finance directors from other cities. And I'm going to ask them, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? And they tell me. And so I've made it my point of duty to meet with other city managers, meet with other finance directors, meet with other public service directors all over, because it gives you a different perspective. So when I'm being asked in a workshop, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Commissioner Patterson is right. And Dr. Daniel is also right. It gives somebody an inclination as to how you feel about an item so that they can finagle their way through whatever they want to plan. So I don't think it's a good use of our time. I think that it is a waste of time. And really and truly, since we've not had workshops where the commission has spoken, I've come to every single meeting. I sit there, I listen, I take notes from Dr. Schiller, I take notes from, staff. I make sure they listen and I get their perspectives as well. And then I balance all the perspectives, and voila, I make my decision on a Wednesday. We're able to discuss the items here on a Wednesday, but to spend 10 hours on Monday and 10 hours again on Wednesday, no bueno. And then to hear a resident complain in the city commission meeting again, all the time, after going to the liquor store, no thank you.
So it is clear that there's no consensus on this item. I'm just going to make a couple of my own comments. Workshops aren't necessarily to get consensus. They're to pull apart and be able to determine if an idea is good and not necessarily how someone votes. And sometimes it's not for the next meeting, it's for future meetings. That's similar to what was been asked. I don't understand this fear of knowing how somebody's going to vote and this all of a sudden this new taboo of, oh my God, someone's going to know how I'm going to vote and they're going to work on me. We have sunshine laws and nobody works on anybody. But anyway, we've had 2 people come to 4 workshops where there's 3 minutes or less, and I think not even all 3 minutes have ever been taken. And the problem that I have with the workshops that maybe staff could be a little bit more, provide a little bit more information then, because you guys are talking amongst yourselves. You know exactly what you've discussed. You know a little bit more detail, but you just say, well, here's an item that's on the agenda. The information's not really in the backup enough to give some details, so we're supposed to call you and ask for more. That's fine. Some of us absolutely don't have a problem doing the work because we've been doing the work and we'll continue to do the work. But if we're supposed to be being more efficient, how is that more efficient? Because we're not able to get all the information we need from that workshop that takes 6 minutes that says, here's what we're reading from the agenda item and here's the detail. There's nothing in the backup that's going to answer the questions we have. That if we could have just asked you simply at that meeting, we could have gotten an answer very quickly and been done. So that meeting might have taken 10 minutes versus 6. Whatever, consensus is quite clear. There will be no workshops. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our agenda.
I have my light lit.
You love to do that. Commissioner Bolton, go ahead.
It is efficiency when staff can come to a workshop and discuss an item or discuss the entire agenda in 6 minutes. It is efficiency when each elected official can meet with staff directly to ask questions and to flesh out information that they don't understand. It is efficiency when somebody is able to do their own research and come up with their questions for a Wednesday meeting. It's not efficient when somebody has to come to a workshop 10 o'clock on a Monday and sometimes leave at 5 o'clock on a Monday. And then having to come to a meeting at 7 o'clock on a Wednesday or 9:30 on a Wednesday and then leave sometimes in the middle of the night or in the wee hours of the morning, 5 a.m. So again, how we're doing it now, it is very efficient. I think it's absolutely wonderful. It is a great idea, and I think we should continue to do that. I love hearing the residents speak for their 3 minutes. I love hearing the residents when they do come to workshops. I might not like what DUI Patty Lynn says, but really and truly, she can continue to come. Thank you so much.
City Attorney, is that appropriate for somebody from the dais to start accusing somebody about their
Statement
DUI?
of fact, qualified immunity, DUI Patty Lynn.
It is still against our city ethics. That is not appropriate. That is not appropriate. And on behalf of the commission, Ms. Lynn, there is an apology, because that is completely disrespectful and inappropriate. And actually, since there's been no question, and there's been no need for the browbeating on the fact that we already had no consensus and pushing of somebody's opinion, this meeting is adjourned. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great week.